Alrighty then, note to self, don't take a big glass of water out with you when you're filming. New camera, don't know if I like it, but we're here, I'm back online. So humanity is splitting in two. Which timeline are you on? I'm going to explain a few things. Again, it isn't that simple, but it's definitely happening. And I'm going to tell you how to gauge which timeline you're on, because there are timelines. Well, time doesn't exist, but everything happens all at once, so everything's possible, everything is available to you, and at least the rules here on planet Earth include choice, free will. We're going to talk about that. All right, let's go with my new HD camera. Let's go. Welcome to Landria, Onkka on YouTube, here to help you break through those fears and live an amazing life. Well, I've got some free stuff for you because we are going to have to learn and switch this mindset into something completely different. This is really difficult because if you've been watching anything out there, and it's tough not to, but I don't, but I see it, and I definitely don't want to click on it because then the algorithms say, oh, Landria likes this garbage media, and I don't. Because you're going to hear everything out there. It's just going to confuse you, and you are now entangled with a very negative timeline. Why is humanity splitting? Well, how do you know if you're in the split that is going to be beautiful and take you to something else? And what does take you to something else mean? I'm going to explain in detail how this works. So, of course, I would love for you to subscribe, and I want you to know there's free stuff down in the description that'll help you get your mindset in check. We want to break through the fear because the fear is what's causing any stories that you're telling yourself right now that is creating something different for you that you don't like. If you're having any anxiety at all, anything at all, there's a story, there's fear. Let's break through it and go into the space where we're tapping into all the other beautiful things that are equally as available to you. The other thing is, if you're an entrepreneur, want to create an online business from scratch, we customize it. They're planet conscious. We create something just for and with you. Online businesses with 4 pillars of success. That's a free webinar. You can find out more. How to succeed online. Why do people fail? Yeah, there's garbage out there, right? It's garbage out there. Literally. In the oceans everywhere. Now, I want to talk about the two humanity timelines that we're going to go on. And they are different timelines. In other words, they're different realities, the 3D versus the 5D. We don't really know what that means, but we'll use those terms so that we can sort of grab onto something that makes some sense at all in this quantum space that no one understands. We are here to be tested. Let's just talk about why you're here. Getting involved in all the craziness, they're wrong, they're doing this, and then the bottom line is, why are we all here for this anyways? What's the whole purpose of this? Because everything's intentional. Everything is purposeful. So as I shared with you in one of the videos earlier, I'm going to explain to you how energy works. And that is, it's all connected. It's not talking to each other. It never was disconnected in the first place. So it just is. It all just is. It's not like, oh, this is communicating with this. No, it is a part of all knowing, all experiencing, all feel, you name it. So everything you do that you put into this ocean, you're a drop in the ocean, right? It appears to be a drop, but you're really part of the ocean, affects the ocean. Did you drop cyanide in there? Did you drop red dye? And it doesn't look like it's changing anything, but it is. That's you, and that's how powerful you are. So we all come in with our ability to experience certain things and raise or lower our frequency, and that drop in the ocean contributes to the entire ocean, which is everything and everyone. Okay, at least in the existence, at least in our probably solar system. All right, probably not even our galaxy. We can't know for sure, right? Maybe they don't have these kind of rules someplace else, but all we need to do is focus on ours. So when you become a part of that, you're responsible for the outcome of the ocean. Is it going to be clean? Is it going to be beautiful? Can other things live in there healthy with you? And if you're pooping in your nest, right, it's not good. You know, there's going to be consequences to that, and that's what's happening right now. So when we talk about the split in humanity, it's not the good and the bad versus the bad at all. Good is all-inclusive. It is compassionate. It doesn't judge. So we confuse the split with, doing good things and doing bad things, and that isn't it at all. Doing good things would not include condemning, separating, judging, splitting, separating. Okay, separating means that, we're this and you're this. It's naming, it's putting a name on things, good and bad. And we are the ocean. So where does that drop start and end? It doesn't. All right, so we all possess equal powers, and we are all perfect beings because we are not these bodies. We are the experience of these bodies. So your task right now is to either go into this split of what we have been to this point or why you came here, and that's to shift this entire 3D, very dense world into something magical and, let's just say, much more quantum. In other words, we're going to go into that space. We're going to go outside of our bodies. Now, what I want to share with you is I have walked around in periods of time in my life where I was actually not completely in my body. In fact, I was up here. I don't know if you guys ever experienced this. You're up here. You're actually viewing things, and you feel like you're just an observer. You don't want to talk. You don't want to be engaged. You feel you can't connect to what's going on. That is when you go into an outer body experience. That's expansive space, energy. That's just you expanding into that field more and more outside of your body. And that's a beautiful place because you become disengaged with the craziness. In fact, you can't relate to it at all because it's like going out into space and looking at the beautiful planet Earth and thinking, where's the problem? It's gorgeous, right? And then the closer you get there, the more you hear, and they did this, kaboom. Insanity, isn't it? So whatever you do here is why you came here. That's it. It doesn't matter if they did this or they did that. It's your judgment, your separation, your love, your compassion. All these things come into play, and they are ranked because it's energy, it's not judged by. They are ranked by frequency. You cannot go into the split of the golden era if you bring poop into your nest, okay? You can't drop cyanide into the ocean and expect to be up there in the penthouse. It just doesn't work. So you have to clean that up. So ask yourself, right, instead of pointing fingers about all these guys and everybody's on somebody's list, and they're all just going to get outed, right? Because eventually it all comes out because lower frequencies always turn on each other because what do they care about? Themselves, service to self. Service to others is, service to others is the person who swims out and saves somebody's life. And some of them go down doing it. When they go over, the ultimate sacrifice, because nothing really dies. So if you place others first, and that is the ultimate beautiful space of oneness that says, I know I'm eternal. It doesn't matter what happens to these bodies. Did I place myself in the love and the care on that level, that super high level of placing somebody even before myself as a human? That's what it's going to take. So where's the line drawn? Well, it's going to be real easy. Ask yourself if you have anxiety, if you are angry, if you are still watching the news, if you're judging people, if you're disgusted. Of course it's disgusting. This stuff is terribly disgusting, but welcome to planet Earth. Geez, let's look at the old days, the stuff they used to do, right? Sacrificing people and children and just insane stuff. You think we've changed? Not a bit. It's the same stuff. It's just maybe a little bit more advanced technology-wise. So are you in the split of the old world that is 3D entrenched, is still trying to control, protect, and gets caught up in this world? And that anxiety is you getting caught up in that world that doesn't really exist. It's totally malleable. And so you say, well, I have to get, we are here, get your head out of the sand, right? No, I do have my head out of the sand. And it's looking up at the stars and what's beyond that is absolutely perfect, that loves you, and it says, you can do this. You can do this. So humanity, now here's the part I want to share with you that's not so nice. A very small percentage is actually going to make it. What does that mean? You're never ending. You got a billion more tries at it, and it may not be on planet Earth. It could be someplace else. You could be something that we can't even describe or imagine or explain in some geometric form out there that's unseen. Don't try to wrap your head around. Just know this is a unique role, and it's not a nice one because it comes with constant challenges. There's no one place you get to that's perfect. We think we can. Oh, when I get this, it'll be perfect. Well, when I get this, and the bottom line is that doesn't exist because everything is expanding, and it is all meant to give you opportunities to evolve this frequency. So you can't find a material space to stay in that's perfect because that's not why you came here. So you may lose it. Okay, I'll give you an example. We have this guy who used to own a music theater here. He's extremely wealthy. He's well known here. And he was out with his boat. You might have heard this story down in Florida. And for some reason, he didn't have his lights on, and he was plowing. It was nighttime, and there was a ferry that takes all these tourists out, and they watch, the sun go down. These ferries are beautiful. Ferry didn't have a backlight on. He didn't have his lights on. For some asinine reason, he ran straight into the ferry, up into the boat. 8 people injured, 1 got killed. He fell out and drowned. He took off, and the one thing that we heard him saying on this, 911 call, supposedly, I didn't listen to anything, was, my life is over. I've lost everything. I've lost everything. So for him, it was the first thing he's thinking of is, my life is over. I lost everything, not, oh my God, look at what I did, or, look at what happened to, mostly him to blame, but still the ferry didn't have that backlight on. It happened. Things happen. So, you think he has this perfect life. He's got it all. He's got the boat. He's got money. He's got everything. And something happens to challenge that, and that's exactly what will always happen for us. There will be something to challenge that. And so they will also, and I don't want to tell you that, it's always going to be this bad thing. It's not. You're going to see these as opportunities now. So when something comes along, let's say you lose a spouse or a job or whatever, I guarantee you what else waiting for you is absolutely better. It's better because you can't stay in this forever and everything's perfect, right? Something has to change in order for you to have opportunities to raise and raise and raise your frequency. So everything's an opportunity for you to raise your frequency. That's the sole thing you must focus on is, am I doing this thing for just me? And are there going to be other benefits for this? And let's say you want a higher paying job. Go for it. Do you love the job? Is the job going to harm the planet? You know how I feel about that. If you're working someplace and you're contributing to what's destroying our planet, then you can't complain about it, right? If we don't eat fast food, there will be no fast food places. Are you contributing to that? So we have to 100%, and it counts. That stuff counts, by the way, all of it. So you've got to do your best, and it's not going to be perfect, but I want you to know that if you have a choice, take it. It's more expensive. No, it's not. I have stuff down in the description. I support businesses who do the right thing, and we clean up the planet. In our bodies, we are meant to constantly be patching things and not curing things. This is the other thing, is that you will understand that you absolutely can go into that space of health, and then when things happen, it's never your fault, but take a look at it and say, what can I learn from this? What can happen from this? And you can turn anything around. All right? Do you want a higher paying job? You can have one. Make higher choices and different choices than you have in the past, because if you've been making choices in the past that have kept you financially down, then you have to change that mindset and that thinking. That's why I have a free webinar for you guys. I'll tell you the steps that you have to take to shift that. And so the next thing is like, do I hate my job? Why would I work doing something I hate? You do have options, but we don't want to get off our duffs and do something different, because we just want to skate through life, pay our bills, and then eventually retire. Great. Yeah. Nobody wants to see an 80-year-old in a bikini. So what I want to share with you is that this absolutely split has been happening more and more so, because why now? Because in the history of the planet, we've never seen more people go into the higher frequency as we have now. We're more aware of it. We're aware of the consequences if we don't do it. We're aware of the consequences of not having gone into a higher frequency. We're seeing what happens when we don't serve others. So you saw I was involved in Team Water with Mr. Beast, raising $40 million. Did you know that Mr. Beast had to borrow money from his mother for his wedding? He's engaged, and his wedding. He's a billionaire because he has everything tied up in all of these crazy things he's doing. Some of it is just entertainment, but most of it is charitable. He's actually doing all these things for charity. He's taking this amazing life he's created. He's doing the things he loves, and giving is it. He doesn't have to do all these charitable contributions and get us all. He's organizing all of us. He's got a team of people doing it. What are you doing? Because you know how satisfying how wonderful that can be? It can be for you. It's way more, because when you give, you open up these beautiful keys and you feel your heart just sings, and it's wonderful, and you know you're doing the right thing. And if you're not feeling that now, then ask yourself, what is you're doing right now that is causing you to feel differently? And you don't want to be that 90% of people who are still fighting and battling and arguing and pointing fingers, and you will never know somebody's personal story, right? Somebody does something horrible, and then you find out that they were never loved, that they were abused, and they don't know anything different. You know what? Forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. Well, we're becoming conscious, so it's now time for this split, for you to make a choice, because there are going to be some things happening out there, and it's going to go at an accelerated speed. And you're going to decide if you're going to participate in these wonderful things that are happening right now, and they are. Even Digital Explorers, my company, we don't just create online businesses. Everything we do helps other people, and we contribute to charities, right? With our businesses, that's our intention. And so what we do is, do I love what I'm doing? Do I really love it? And the second thing is, am I making a positive impact? Everything has to revolve around that. If you're not doing that, it's time to start working on it right now. What part of your life is out of check? And don't blame other people. That's the worst, blaming other people, pointing fingers, because that's the opportunity for compassion. And to not get caught up in the story. It's okay. Believe what you believe. Pick on somebody. When somebody picks on me, I think, oh, they're in such a bad place. To pick on a stranger on YouTube, you have to be who has a spiritual channel, who's trying to help people. You've got to be in such a dark place, an angry place. So my heart goes out to them. I never want anybody to feel that way. And when you put light on others, it does make a difference. So let's focus on that, and you will see things happen in your own life that are amazing. So again, I hope you subscribe. In the description, you've got Digital Explorers, Planet Conscious Businesses. It's for my entrepreneurs. Those of you who want to create something, come on over. This is unlike any other training, and I have 30 years working with businesses as an investment banker, and then well over a decade online successfully. The other one is Breakthrough Fear. We've got to start with this. We've got to clear it up, because this chatter can block all kinds of beautiful things from coming to you. So let's work on that together. Those are 2 free things down there. And then all kinds of purchases for you to clean up your body, your home, the environment, and support businesses who are doing the right thing. We've got to start making those decisions, my friend. You are whole and perfect, strong and powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. Blessings to you. Remember, this is why we came here. Those decisions are why we came here. That frequency is why we came here. Nothing else matters. No subject matter, no book or who took out who or whatever. It doesn't matter. It's what you do right now. Get that frequency up to the penthouse. It will be worth it. You don't want to come back here again, do you? I don't. You're whole and perfect, strong and powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. It's all right here. Just say yes. Namaste.